What's up, everybody? We're back, Fifth Down Territory. It's Tyler, Nolan, Bahookie. As you noticed, Louis not here tonight. We asked him to come, but he pulled a Devondre Campbell on us and decided not to. I'm just joking. He's actually sick. He's actually sick, but I had to come out with a nice cold open for my boy. We're here, and yeah, we're a couple minutes late, so let's try and get into it. So we're not here for an hour and 45 minutes. We're only here for an hour and 15. Biggest surprise of the week. We got week 15. I'm going to go first. Kirk Cousins, dude, he ain't got no more. Like, he's lost a step. Maybe he's lost 3 steps. He's might have lost 5 steps. He's also lost his fastball and his arm. I just don't. The velocity's not there. Some of these balls coming out like a lame duck, not dunk. And I just. Michael Penix is just doing this on the sideline, hitting you with one of these. He's doing these on the sideline, like
that head is leaning back as he pulls down on his shoulder.
He had his helmet on at one point yesterday. I was like, oh my god, are they putting him in? Like, what's going on? So I don't know. And Raheem Morris left the door open earlier today. I didn't see the exact quote, but I saw Rappaport just say Raheem Morris leaves the door open yet again. So like it has to like. Kirk, like it's clear, like something's just not clicking. He is. They're not running play action at all. Like he was one of the best play action quarterbacks in the league, and they can't run it right now because I don't feel like they're comfortable with him hitting a 5 or 7 step drop and like doing all of that work and being mobile, doing like boot actions and all this stuff. I don't think they feel comfortable with that. So that's a major issue because their offense, yet again, is underperforming. Like I don't know, maybe they're just cursed. They have all these great players and they can just like only score 15 points a freaking game. So but yeah, that's my biggest surprise. Bahookie, how would you go next?
Yeah, just I guess I was surprised but not so surprised. Like I thought there was a good chance the Rams offense was not going to look quite as potent as it did against the Bills. But the level of regression that we saw from week 13 to week 14, it was just semi astounding. I mean, they were on a short week, but it was just like they scored all their touchdowns against us. What wonderful!
Shit.
And yeah, no, I just thought that was good. Like looking at the slate like we do every single week. I thought that was going to be one of the better games this week, and it was quite possibly the worst of the entire bunch.
Yeah.
And I still sat through it because of like, and I hate myself for
it. to be fair on that one, it was like a weather game. So it's not like, yes, some of it was on the offense being like less efficient, less effective, maybe not even just getting up for the type, like it's a different atmosphere in that game. And just the weather just definitely affected that. Like, especially in the first half. The first half, it was like a real issue for them, for both teams. So, but I get what you're saying. Neither offense was good, and it was just one of those rock fight games. You have anything else on that, or was that?
No, I mean, no, that was it. Pretty quick one. There wasn't a lot of stuff that surprised me this week. I'm going to be honest. It was kind of hard for me to pick something. Yeah, that was what I landed on. There was going through a lot of the stuff. I was like, no, that's kind of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah. All right, Nolan, go for it. And then we can get on to overreaction, underreaction. See, now we're moving fast.
Shit.
all right. Yeah, let's go. You got it, Nolan. I believe in you.
So I kind of had the same thought as Bahookie. At first, I was like, I don't really know what to put here. Because I wasn't just blown away by anything where I was like, wow, okay. I didn't see that coming. But I did come to the conclusion the Dallas defense showing up, missing a few more major stars. Trayvon Diggs out for the year, Overshown obviously out for the year and probably next year. They were still able to put together a pretty decent day. Micah Parsons had a 2-sack day, and they forced a lot of turnovers, and that's just kind of the name of the game. If you want to beat the Bryce Young Panthers right now, is force him into turnovers. And without a couple of stars, they still don't have DeMarcus Lawrence back. Deron Bland has not really gotten back up to full speed quite yet. So, I mean, the fact that they were able to force that many turnovers and create more opportunities for their offense for Cooper Rush to finally look pretty competent on the offensive side just was a little surprising for me, just because I expected Dallas to maybe regress, losing someone like Trayvon Diggs and Overshown, and they had a
You were
few.
the only one that was on him last week. Last week, we all picked against him, and we were all wrong. So I got to give you your credit for that one.
Yeah,
I felt freaking stupid about it too watching that game. Just
Yeah, I
like
was like, yeah, no, I saw the spread. I was like 27-7 at one point. And I was like, oh wow, yeah, we were way wrong on that one.
I mean, they really controlled that game. That's what I mean by it was surprising, because that felt like a game where they shouldn't have controlled it as much as they did, but their defense set a tone early by creating the turnovers and everything. That it was surprising,
for
So
sure. Shout out to CeeDee Lamb, helped me win $1,800, by the way. So big fan of that guy. Yeah, move us into your overreactions, underreactions.
yeah. So my overreaction, the whole talk of Mahomes' injury being worrisome. He does this every year where he has an ankle injury late, and then Percocet roided up Mahomes is going to come out and be A-okay. He had full
participant
practice today. Yeah, he's fine.
I would say the one thing about that, you are right. He does go through this every year. This is not a new thing. You guys play 2 games in 8 days. That is an issue with if he's on half a leg over here, the quick turnover is against 2 of the best teams on your schedule.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think that was their main concern, was that immediate carryover and how quickly games were happening for them. Playing 3 games in 15 days is grueling.
Are you trying to get through those 3 games though? So, and if you secure the bye with him, then you save that, then you get that full bye week in there. So, is it worth it? You know what I mean? To, put him through this gauntlet in order to try and secure yourself that bye and your home field advantage. You don't have to go to Pittsburgh. You don't have to go Pittsburgh, Buffalo. I think that's incredibly important. I think if he's practicing, he is playing. I don't think you can keep a dude like Patrick Mahomes off of the field. If he wasn't going to play, he wouldn't be, you know what I mean? That's sort of where I saw that. I'm like, all right, word, he's fine.
And with him being the full participant, and then you throw on Hollywood Brown being a full participant too.
Sneaky play there.
That is them saying, all right, we do not want to have to go on the road again in a playoff run. They did that last year and they had their success, obviously, but they don't want to have to do that again. It was such a kind of whirlwind of trying to figure out, all right, how do we game plan for several road playoff games? They wanted to run through Kansas City. It's been that way for 7-8 years now. So they want to get back to that. So yeah, just trying to kind of be that more consistent level, despite all of the close games this year. If you can still get that 1 seed, then yeah, that's why it's an overreaction for me with this injury. I don't think they're worried. They're going to get him back on the field already. My underreaction, and I don't know how much is being talked about yet, just because we don't have a full set in stone field. But I think the teams right now for the AFC, if you look at it, this is your playoff runs. This is who's in it. I don't see any major slip ups happening with these groups or with these teams that are sitting in it right now. So I think that's a little bit of a under the radar story, that get used to this lineup of teams, because this is more than likely who you're going to see competing against each other in the AFC, which again just adds into the Chiefs' whole run. This is who you got. Be ready to go. You have the Steelers here late, so be ready for them.
All right, word. I can hop in there because I think my overreaction kind of combats that a little bit. I mean, not entirely. I do think you're right. I think 1 through 6 is pretty much locked up. Let's not lock the Chargers. Let's not pencil in this Chargers team right now. That they have a game. I just They lost J.K. Dobbins. I have them actually winning this game against Denver. I feel like I did that because both of you picked Denver, but like the Bengals are kind of feeling a little hot right now, and the Chargers are kind of feeling a little banged up. And if they kind of continue on the slide, if they play like they did against Tampa Bay for the rest of the season, they might miss out, and the Bengals might slide into that last playoff spot. And that's not a team anybody wants to see. Like, that defense sucks, yeah, but like I'd rather not play Joe Burrow in a one game elimination format. You guys can stay away from me. All those playmakers you guys got can stay on the outside looking in. And also, the NFC is saying the same shit about the Rams. Like, they're like, I would much rather if Seattle etched their way into the playoffs. And the Rams are just sad looking outside like, darn. Like, nobody wants to play Sean McVay and Matt Stafford in the first round of the playoffs. Like, even if you win that game, you're stressed. Like, that's not going to be a cakewalk game. And then my underreaction is about Green Bay. I don't know if I worded this correctly, but I was really, really surprised to see the way they came out in this Sunday night game against the Seahawks. They ran the ball like 20 times in a row. Like every play was run through Josh Jacobs. Like before this, I kind of thought that they had their offense oriented around Jordan Love. I think that they're trying to stay away from putting a lot on Jordan Love and just having him be like an ancillary piece of this offense. I think that they feel like Jordan Love is in like, he could be like a Josh Allen playmaker. He's not the same build or style, but like right now, his turnover worthy plays are like still up there. It hasn't clicked for him completely yet. And they're trying. I feel like Green Bay isn't really trusting him. Like as we go down the stretch here, and nobody's talking about that because they just beat the bag out of another team who's probably going to the playoffs. But like, Love played really well, and I'm not saying he will play bad. I'm just saying the coaching staff and the way that they're coaching, calling plays, designing their game plans seems like they want to keep the ball out of his hands rather than rely on him as we kind of go down the stretch here. Bahookie, what do you think?
I liked a lot of what you guys just said. I'm going to go with my overreaction first, and I'm not that big of a buyer in the Steelers right now. That's really like what I'm feeling, and I think that they're going to lose this game to the Ravens this week, and they're going to be level here. And these next 2 weeks for the Steelers are going to tell us a lot about this team going against the Ravens and then going against the Chiefs very shortly thereafter. So maybe I'll be proven wrong, but I still think this Ravens team is really one to beat. I think I liked what you mentioned about the Bengals being another one of those teams. Like if they get in, no one would want to play them. Like if they're coming in as the 7th seed playing a hot, and that's what Buffalo / Kansas City are staring down the barrel of. If that's one of them is going to have to play that 7th seed, not the most ideal matchup.
We actually have a little bit of So we have a little bit of breaking news here. Buda Baker has reached an agreement on a 3-year, $54 million contract extension, including $30 million guaranteed. That's $18 million per year. This deal is largest third contract for safety in NFL history for Buda Baker.
So he ain't going nowhere. He's in Arizona.
No. Yeah, in this that he was a unrestricted free agent, I believe, going into this offseason. So this is a big move for Arizona, locking up a homegrown player, a talent that they've had for a long time, and a pillar of their defense. I love when news breaks on the show. It's pretty cool. Nice contract. I think that's fair for both sides, and he's still playing real hard. Like I just had a front row seat to watch him dominate our piss poor wide receiving group. So he's a great football player, man. I was hoping he would like kind of sneak out. Pats need a free like a safety like him. Even though we have 10 safeties, they all just suck. So all right, yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but did
No
have
worries.
breaking
Yeah,
news.
live news. That's fun. But yeah, just that the Steelers are like one of these top teams in the AFC and also in their division. I think that they're a team that very easily could start to slip here. Was not really impressed with what I saw. That like the had that Steelers Eagles game on the side screen, and I was kind of watching it. I was more watching my game, but I was peeping it, and
Without Pickens, it's like a bird without wings, dude. Like
yeah, it
they
was
don't
just
they don't
it didn't
have
look
any
like, it didn't
weapons.
look like a 10-win team to me. But that in testament to Mike Tomlin, but I feel like that team has like a ceiling.
TJ Watt's a little banged up now too. Like
Yeah, I don't think that
it's falling apart for him. I feel like
when it comes down to like that real like second round of playoff football, like where like everyone's earned their place there, I just don't see them being able to hang with any of the other teams that we expect to be there. Moving on to my underreaction. So this one is a little deeper. My underreaction is all of the issues that people brought up about Caleb Williams pre-draft. And all of those people that were called names or this or that for having these sort of objections towards him. That's my underreaction. And like is the people that overreacted to people having reactions to him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I get you because I feel like you were one of the people who were pointing out flaws in his game, and people were like, "Oh, nah, you're just being a hater, bro." Where are you people? Where are those hater bros now? Like these issues are showing. I understand that like the people around Caleb Williams haven't been fantastic. The players around him are. Like, I'm sorry, they may not be
Everyone's
playing all that
making
well.
every excuse for him, and he's not taking any blame for anything right now.
Yeah.
One of
His
the people,
body language is shit too.
and that was like one of the main things I brought up too, is that he's fragile.
Yeah.
And that's not what you need. He doesn't have that it factor. Like that, and is that easy for me to say when we're sitting here in our rooms talking sports and he's out there? Sure, but I mean these are the issues I saw when I saw him play in college, when I saw him break down like emotionally when the going got tough. How's that going to go in Chicago? Very well.
Yeah, it's not going well.
People need to apologize to Justin Fields because they gave him some shit, man. Now, granted, completely different situations, but Caleb Williams has a lot better people around him. There's pieces around him that are significantly better than what Justin Fields had. And Justin Fields got absolutely mauled by people saying, "Oh, this is your fault that we're not winning games." Well, is it? And now look at it. You went and got a number one pick and all these things, and you're going to win less games with all of these weapons than you did with Justin Fields.
Yeah, it's honestly like I watched there was an angle. It was basically like the back ref cam of last night, and it was showing like what Caleb would pretty much see. Like, it's not full point of view, but like you're behind him, seeing like what he would see. Romo Dunze is in the slot, right? He runs a slant, crosses the quarterback's face, goes right past his eyes. Nobody is near him. Nobody's in front of him. Nobody, like the dude who's supposed to be in his zone, just like staying in the zone, not really picking up the man. And then you just watch Caleb like pump fake it, don't throw it, and then run into a dude and get sacked. And it's just like, bro, like that there is not an easier pass for you to read. Like that is something you at least have to throw. And then you want to get to the throws that he did actually like release, and balls are just going 20 miles per like he threw a ball to Romo Dunze. He thought Romo Dunze must have been 12 feet tall because he threw it 15 feet in the air. Like you're like, yeah, how it's just
I
bad.
saw that.
Really
I saw
bad.
that play late where Rome had separation on the route. The cornerback was giving him plenty of cushion. If he hits Rome early, Rome probably walks in.
Yeah,
I know exactly what play you're talking about, and he sails it way over his head. And
yeah, Rome's like out like this. You're like,
everybody was like, "Wow!" Like Rome had a good, I'd say, 6 to 7 yards of separation, and if he hits it in stride, he walks in. He doesn't even have
Keenan
to
Allen.
lead him.
Keenan Allen ran this one route where he like kind of faked the inside slant, and then he basically ran like the post corner out to the pylon. It froze the Bears corner, like I'm sorry, it froze the Vikings cornerback. Byron Murphy like did not know how to handle that or react. Homie was wide open. Caleb Williams threw it in out past the back of the end zone, and like another 7 feet of separation walking into the all you gotta do is throw it in the breadbasket. You know what I mean? Like, okay. Interesting piece from Nicholas here. According to Ari, not going to pronounce the last name. Teddy Bridgewater's planning a comeback, maybe. Could be a possible candidate for a team who needs a backup quarterback in case somebody gets injured late into the playoffs, i.e., possible Kansas City. They probably feel comfortable with Carson Wentz, though. But all right, let's get into our certified sickos. How about it? Let me get the freaking dropout. Go.
Certified sicko of the week.
Go for it, man. Josh Allen should be the certified sicko of our lifetime.
Yeah, I don't get we try to avoid doing like certain repicks here. This is one I don't feel the least bit bad about repicking. Same thing goes for Saquon, I will say, but Josh, what we have seen these last however many weeks it's just otherworldly. We're watching LeBron James. Like, is that an overstatement? I don't think so. I had a conversation with Lamb. We were texting when I was at the gym. We kind of brought it up in here, but and it was like, he's the most entertaining player to watch in the sport. Whether like I'm biased, he's my guy, but even if you're
I hate the Bills, and that dude is just electric to watch.
That means a lot.
The LeBron James thing that you bring up, it almost reminds me of LeBron in Miami the year before they won their first title together. They were literally killing everybody. They just happened to run into a San Antonio Spurs team that was, pretty damn good. Sorry, I had to cut in there. That's how I love that analogy. That like they just remind me of the Miami Heat LeBron, where they are really, really good, but can they get over that like last initial kind of big hump, which is the AFC gauntlet? So
the Bills of the Boston Celtics.
How about that one?
The Bills of the Boston Celtics from last year. Josh Allen is Jason Tatum from last year. He's the best player in the sport. He's highly disregarded as such, just because he hasn't won a championship.
Go win that ring, brother. That's the one right there. Is like because LeBron for the first half of his career, first third of his career, how many memes did we see about him having no rings?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That was half of the memes in existence were about that. And so and that's been the thing that mostly I'd say Dolphins and Jets fans and fans who weren't even alive for their Super Bowls love to poke at the Bills about not having Super Bowls, and it's everyone around the NFL. That's the thing that
hurt you, buddy.
Get them in while you can, buddy.
I am. I don't worry. I do. But no, to kind of add to your point, over the last 2 games, I did some numbers crunching on this. Josh Allen has over 850 scrimmage yards, 10 total touchdowns, no picks, no sacks, no fumbles, and they've scored over 90 points in the last 2 games. And he has basically played as perfect as somebody could play the quarterback position. Probably as perfect as I've ever seen the quarterback position be played. And I watched Tom Brady play for 20 years.
I think the best tweet I've seen about his play recently is someone saying, shout out to his new fiance for getting him locked in here at the right time, having the movie star get him locked in here after getting engaged.
I saw one, and it said after getting engaged to Haley Steinfeld, Josh Allen turned into Goku.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
that's all of our Dragon Ball Z references today. I promise.
No, it won't be. I promise you, it won't be.
All
Okay.
right,
All right.
whoever wants to go next, we can.
I'll go. I'll go next because it's the same game. So I gotta feel bad for Jared Goff, first quarterback that I've seen throw for over 400 yards, 5 touchdowns, and no picks and lose a game. Like we were just talking about playing quarterback perfect. Homie did just about the same thing, and he just doesn't have it with his legs. But damn, man, whoever was shitting on him a couple years ago, myself included, you should feel pretty bad about yourself because like you don't know ball.
What a spectrum
included.
he is on. 5 interception game, they won. 5 touchdown game, they lose. Like
It's
just
incredible. So wild.
totally opposite ends of it. But,
It just didn't help. Josh came in there and scored 3 touchdowns in 3 possessions. You're just like, shit.
It was one of the first games that we didn't have a slow start. Like and like I mean, I watched the Bills all year, and they play a lot of national TV games. People have watched them. They've started slow in the first half for like I'd say more than 50% of their games, and then they come out. This game they came out firing, and they were in cruise control the whole time. The Lions kind of came back and sort of made it close, but after that botched onside kick, the game was chalk.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Nolan, get your sicko. Then we'll do a pissy pants player, and then we'll get in the game picks and see what we can do with those.
Yep. So I went with CD Lamb for my sicko. I mean, man, what the guy's doing with the backup quarterback, give him his props. He threw a little bit of a tantrum there for a few weeks. Was pissed off he wasn't getting the ball. Now they're getting him the ball again. Only the second player in team history to have 4 straight 1,000-yard seasons. Only other one was Michael Irvin. Des Bryant didn't even do that, which is crazy. But it's crazy to see what he's doing in a year where injuries are hurting the team. You know, playoffs are slim and far away. Doesn't look like it's possible. And he's still just going out there and balling out. They're feeding him the rock. And to go out there and get another 100-yard game, granted, it's the Panthers. Their secondary's poo-poo. But J.C. Horn had a big assignment. CD Lamb knew it, and he went out there and he rocked it. So
nice. All right. Now, drum roll, please.
I had an accident.
You had an accident? What does that mean?
Pissy Pants Player of the Week.
Yeah, Devondre Campbell just decided that he didn't want to go do his job requirement. The thing that you get sent a check for, he was like, "Nah, dude, I'm all set." So, yeah, there was really no other choice for this one. Your teammates really wanted you to be out there and play for your team and do that thing that you're supposed to do for your like livelihood and your job and all that shit, and you just were like, "Nah, man, fuck that." I don't get it. So I don't know if you guys have any other.
Go ahead.
San
Francisco is so pissed off about it that they didn't even want to release, and they said, "No, we're not giving you the satisfaction of releasing you. We're getting your ass suspended so that you don't get your pay, because we don't want you to go to another team and get your salary paid out for the rest of the year, or we release you and we still got to pay you out for the year. We're going to suspend you for the last 3 regular season games, and you ain't getting a dime." Like that. I think that's fair, because I mean you're quitting in the middle of the game, especially in a game where they knew, all right, they had injuries to key players in their defense, and he was going to step into a role where they needed him to have an impact, and he just said no. I mean, Tyler, I said this to you in pre-show. He can come work at Rally House for me if he wants, and he can give me his salary for the rest of the year if he wants to swap it out. If he's going to be that pissed off, I mean, I'll take
if homie wants to go demo the bathroom I gotta go do this week, then like sure, by all means, go dump that tile, brother. Like, love to see it. All right. So that's all the time we need to spend on that scumbag. He's probably a good person, but like regardless of that, you made a scumbag move in a football game, and this is a football show. So there you go, our football scumbag. All right, going to the game picks Thursday Night Football. Denver at the Chargers. I'll go first since I'm already talking. Even though I talked about the Chargers' inability to make the playoffs, I do think this is one of the games they might win. Just because I don't think Sean Payton or I don't think Jim Harbaugh is going to get blown out in multiple games. So I feel like Sean Payton just kind of out coached Shane Steichen. Got a little lucky with the Jonathan Taylor non-touchdown there, which that was pretty close. I don't know, like that was really. Where's the sideline? They're showing me this camera angle from behind them. You know, you guys have billions of dollars. You can't get a camera that goes this way, that goes down the sideline. I can't see exactly where the ball. You know what I mean? That's freaking
Goal line
bullshit.
technology.
Tell me that pylon camera can't tilt up.
Yeah, like
this much and
show me what's good. Like I thought that was a touchdown. Anyway, so yeah, give me the Chargers here in a bounce back effort. I like Lad McConkey to kind of take over here. He plays in the slot. They might be able to move him around away from Patrick Surtain. I know that Denver has a pretty good defense. They kind of have been faltering a little bit more as of late. They haven't been as good as they were in the middle of the season. So yeah, and then my anytime touchdown score is somebody on the Broncos that we've never heard from before. Like a player that will be named later, maybe. Like somebody who's not in the NFL currently. Like a supplemental draft pick player. Yeah, like
gets thrown in there.
Yeah, you know what? I might go score the touchdown for them. They might sign me to like a 1-day contract. I'll go out there, catch a touchdown pass, then like never be heard from again.
Remember when Bobby Boucher showed up at halftime of the Bourbon Bowl, do you?
I do. Yeah, I do. Dude, they got people like Lucas Kroll scoring touchdowns. They got people I've never heard of before scoring touchdowns. So when I haven't heard of you, you're throwing some deep cuts out in the football field, my guy. Deep cuts. But yeah, all right. Go for it, Nolan.
I'm going Denver here simply just because the Chargers make me nervous without their run game.
Yeah.
That was a large part of their identity. Gus Edwards and company are not exactly keeping them at that same level they were at with Dobbins. That makes me nervous because that's what Harbaugh loves to do is run the ball, even though he's got Justin Herbert. So it's going to be interesting. I think Denver really, really wants to put a chokehold on a playoff spot here. And this is a good team to do it against in the Chargers, who are right there neck and neck with you. I know it's on the road, but this is a tough one. So I'll take Denver to win and cover. Denver defense is my stud just because I think they're going to have to step up and make some plays, force some turnovers. And then Cortland Sutton for my anytime. He is a perennial threat for them. Him and Bo Nix's connection this year is very impressive.
Yeah, I feel you. Go for it, Blake.
So yeah, I went Denver here. Denver to win, Denver to cover. I got Bo Nix as my stud of the game. He didn't have that great of a game last week. He had 3 interceptions.
Looked like Auburn Bo Nix.
Yeah, their defense showed up for him though. Gave him some short fields to work with. But we have seen like a certain level from Bo Nix this year, and I don't expect him to have 2 bad games in a row. I will go with Cortland Sutton as my anytime touchdown scorer because, yeah, he's one of the few names that I really recognize left here. And I can't give it to Javonte Williams this week in good faith after how terrible he played.
Dude, I have no idea what's going on with that running back room. It makes no sense. Lead us into Houston, Kansas City.
All right. This is a game here. This is a game. I'm going with Houston to win. These next 2 games, I mean, as a Bills fan, we're obviously rooting pretty hard for KC to lose. It's like if not now, when? If KC wins this game against Houston, they've got a pretty good inside track there to the 1 seed. And this is a opportunity for Houston to come out and make a statement win against, the back-to-back champs. And so in order for that to happen, CJ Stroud is going to have to be the stud of the game. He's going to have to come out here and take care of the football and make the throws he needs to, specifically Nico Collins into the end zone.
I need Nico Collins. I need him very much so. Okay. Yeah, no, go for it.
Yeah. So it's pretty obvious here. I'll go Chiefs to win and cover.
Boo.
I know, surprise. So if Hollywood Brown plays this week, I'm curious to see if this line moves at all. Maybe just a little bit, just because it is at home. We'll see how the Chiefs do on the short week, but I'm going to stick with them. Mahomes for stud. I do have Pacheco for my anytime. They are not using him in the red zone. They're using end-around plays with Xavier Worthy, different pass plays, getting Noah Gray open in space, which is fine. But get Pacheco in the end zone. The guy's back from injury. You need him. You're going to need him later on in the playoffs. Get him back into the swing of things with the touchdown this week. So this is a big-time game for Houston especially. If Kansas City wants to continue to prove they are the top dogs, well, force some turnovers from CJ Stroud, and you're going to be sitting pretty. Their defense looked good this last week. So,
Word. I'm going to take Houston here. I know Mahomes practiced full, but I just don't love how they've looked. They still look vulnerable, man. They still look like they're pressing on all cylinders now. Does Houston look fantastic? No, their offensive line seems like it's in shambles, and their run game's almost falling apart. But if they get those two things kind of figured out, back to what they were looking like a few weeks ago, then that's the kind of team that can scare you. I will say that I haven't loved the Chiefs' offensive line play. I know they have a good offensive line. I haven't loved their play as of the last couple of weeks. I think Will Anderson could have a monster game in prime time Saturday, 1:00. Could be a coming out party for a player like that. We know who he is, but that could be a game where all right, now everybody in the house knows who Will Anderson Jr. is. And I also have Nico Collins as my anytime touchdown scorer. The guy is just a absolute freak. Always a freak. Massive freak.
real quick, flowers to Joe Tooney for getting thrown out at left tackle against Myles Garrett and stepping up to the plate. Yeah. Myles Garrett was non-existent, and that is a tough assignment. Now, granted, Joe Tooney threw a right hook into Myles Garrett's eyeball and put him out for a little bit.
He poked him.
But nonetheless, tough assignment. He stepped up. Wouldn't be surprised if they keep him at left tackle against somebody like Will Anderson again this week.
Word. All right. I will start the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game. I have the Ravens winning here. I do have the Steelers covering. I think 6 is a decent amount of points. I will take Derrick Henry to be the stud of the game because I just don't think he's had a massive game recently. I just think that he's just kind of due. TJ Watt's kind of banged up. That definitely hurts their defense as a whole, both rush and pass. I have Mark Andrews scoring a touchdown. I've been kind of riding this, and he just kind of keeps scoring. So let's keep doing it. Nolan, how about you?
I'm going Baltimore to win here. I do have Steelers covering, though, as well. As good as Baltimore's feeling right now, Pittsburgh always plays them tough, and it's an AFC North game, so this will be a dogfight. Lamar for my stud. He's making an MVP case just like Josh Allen is. He's doing everything right now. This is another game to kind of add to your resume. And then I'll do Derrick Henry for any time because I agree he's slowed down a little bit here in recent weeks, and I'm sure fantasy managers and playoffs are little concerned by that because they need him to produce. So I think they'll want to get him in the end zone this week and try to use him against this Steelers defense.
It's not even really his fault because, like, when he gets the ball, like, he's still getting like 8 yards a carry. Like, they just like I don't know. They I feel like they just made it a point to be like, oh, you guys want to like talk shit about Lamar's passing? Fine, he's gonna absolutely throttle the Giants. Like, you know, Derrick Henry could have gotten big yards in that game. And I'm pretty sure he had like 130, 140 yards in the last game. He just didn't score a touchdown. So it was like, it didn't look awesome for fantasy, but I don't necessarily think like he's hit that like wall. You know what I mean? I think he's still like playing well. Go for it, Bahookie. And then you can lead us into the first Sunday game.
Yeah, like a lot of the stuff you guys said here, I'm going Baltimore to win. I'm going Baltimore to cover here. I did, but Nolan did touch on a point that is good, is that the Ravens usually play like shit against the Steelers, for lack of a better term. Like they don't play to their like full caliber. Usually Lamar is the one who like crumbles in the fourth quarter, like you're in like one of those like red zone possessions to take the lead or ice the game. That's usually where he throws an interception.
Tomlin knows how to play him really well.
I think that this game is going to be different. I just kind of have a feeling in my gut based on the way these teams are trending. And I also like what Nolan said about Lamar playing MVP caliber ball right now. He really is. It's like his stats are better than his MVP year, but his team is not going to get the 1 seed this year. That's just not going to happen. So based on the criteria they used last year, he shouldn't be in consideration. But he is playing that caliber of ball. And if he does that again, he will be my certified sicko of the week, which he is. And I went with Rashad Bateman as my anytime touchdown scorer. He had 2 last week. I really almost wrote him in too for my anytime guy. And then I thought about it and I was like, nah. And then he had 2. So he might not get it this week, but I at least want to give him his credit for showing up and balling out last week.
Yeah.
He's played really well all season, I think.
Deontay Johnson also is not on the Ravens anymore. Not that he's doing anything, but they did.
Yeah, he was suspended for conduct detrimental, and then they
released him.
I don't know if he's released. They mutually agree that he doesn't have to show. He's not even showing up to the facility anymore. Like, so maybe he might be released soon, and then could potentially sign with someone else. I really don't know what the contract situation is there, but Deontay Johnson is basically not a part of that team, as Nolan said.
Right now, he's not a part of that team, but they're also like he also can't sign with somebody else, so it's not like he can go like sign with the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Like I think that I don't know, which would be weird from his standpoint to be okay with that, but like if they're like, yeah, we'll just pay your salary and you don't have to show up to the team and whatever, like just go to free agency next year. You know, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they gave up a 3rd round pick for him, so it's pretty peculiar.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, there's got to be more to the story, and maybe we'll find out more later. But yeah, he's got no role there. So
I've seen, people worried that Pittsburgh, the reason they haven't released him is they're worried Pittsburgh would just go pick him back up again with Pickens being out, and they play them this week. So I don't know how much validity there is to that or how much weight there is to that, but it makes sense when you think about it with Pickens being hurt right now. So.
It just doesn't make sense from like a Deontay Johnson standpoint. Like, why would you like agree to like not show like most people get their release if they want it, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you fight to get your release to go play for another team? And you know, but I don't know. So, well, like you said, we'll just have to figure out more of that when it kind of comes. How would you lead us into Philly, Washington?
Philly at Washington. Yeah, this is a pretty good game here on paper. Something tells me to take Philly big here. And I like Jaden Daniels a lot too, and I like a lot what this team is doing. But I feel like Philly's going to cover this 3.5 comfortably on the road. There's just something about it. I don't like Washington in this spot here. Divisional game, sure, but this is also like playoff push time. I feel like usually like like the first 4 games of the season are usually some of the hardest to predict, and I feel like last 4 games of the season oftentimes some of the easiest to predict. For the same reasons, because we know what we know and what we don't know. And this Eagles team looks like one of the best teams in the NFL, maybe the best team in the NFL right now. Washington is like trending up. If they got this one done, they would earn a lot of respect from me. But I'm just not ready to take them against this Eagles team right now. So yeah, and I'm gonna go with Jalen Hurts as my certified sicko here. First, I can't remember last time I didn't put Saquon in this spot, but Saquon wasn't the sicko last week. It was Jalen Hurts, and there's been a lot of talk about the chemistry or lack thereof, and I think they did a pretty good job putting that to rest. Maybe they didn't. Maybe there's still these Nick Sirianni issues that people keep talking about. But they keep winning football games, so I guess they'll deal with that. And I went with Devontae Smith as my anytime touchdown scorer.
Word. I like a lot of what you said there about like just the trends. I feel like Washington's a team that beats teams that aren't like great
there yet.
Yeah, like so like I do agree that Washington's taken a massive step up. They've increased their class, like they've definitely stepped up in class. But the Eagles are, I feel like, the next step up in class. I feel like the Commanders need at least another weapon, and they need more on their defense. Like this is a game that I just don't think that like they'll be competitive in it to a point, but it's gonna get away from them at another point. Also, bless up Jalen Hurts. Help me win the $1,800. You're a sicko. Saquon Barkley, I think he's going to have a big bounce back game. Washington doesn't have a fantastic defense. Nothing here scares me. I don't think that they're like going to lean on him, but I do think he plays a majority of the snaps, like he has been most of the season, just doing what he does. I have AJ Brown scoring a touchdown. I think that they want to really make sure they inflate his numbers as they go as we kind of go down the stretch here. The whole passing offense, I feel like they want to increase and get those numbers up as a whole to kind of look better as we end, because I feel like that's the type of guy Nick Sirianni is. He's like, damn, they're talking about our passing numbers. All right, well, let's go throw the ball 30 times for 300 yards for the next 3. You know what I mean? Like kind of play outside of themselves a little bit to kind of prove a point. So, yeah, that's why I have AJB there. Nolan, go for it, and you can lead us into Cleveland, Cincy.
Yep. So I'm taking Eagles to win here. This is a very big game, and I was reading an article about this. Detroit losing to Buffalo basically cut out any margin of error for Detroit to have the rest of the year if they want to get the 1 seed. Now, granted, it was an out-of-conference game, but that second loss of the year, again, that margin of error is gone for them. And that means Philly's hot on their tail. And basically they said Philly's got to win out. And if Philly wants to do that, they haven't even locked up the division yet. Well, here's a good step towards that. So that's why I'm going to have them winning. I do have Washington covering, though. I could see the Eagles over planning for this game because they know this is a big win and they just over plan, make mistakes. And I'll have Washington cover it. And then I'm going to take Saquon for my stud. I think last week was an anomaly compared to what he's doing this year. Kenneth Gainwell should not pace Saquon Barkley in touches. They will not repeat that. So Saquon for stud, Jalen Hurts for my anytime, because get inside the 2 or the 1 yard line. Saquon ain't touching that hoe. It is tush push time, and that's just the name of the game, man. So
yeah, we freaking love the tush push over here. They lined up. They got the ball. Push. Yeah, they got the ball like earlier in the game on like the 2 yard line. They lined up 3 times in shotgun. And I'm sitting there like pulling my hair out, like dude. I'm like, yo, I need this Jalen Hurts touchdown like more than I can breathe, and you guys are gonna not do it here. You've been doing it for 2 years. Every time you get inside the 3, and you're really gonna do this here right now to me. I'm like, ah. So they ended up doing it. Thank God. I ripped my heart out. But yeah. So
Yeah.
lead us into Cincy, Cleveland.
Yeah. So when we mentioned the AFC picture earlier, the way you combated my underreaction really got me thinking. Granted, Cleveland is nowhere near any kind of contention. Dorian Thompson-Robinson's going to be starting this game for them. Nick Chubb's out for the year, rest of the year. Like, there's nothing to prove here. If I'm Cincinnati, you got to win this game. Go out, make it easy, win it. So I'll take Bengals to win and cover. Burrow for stud. I could see Burrow putting up big numbers by half and then going on absolute cruise control through second half. Chase Brown for my anytime. Guys getting Christian McCaffrey level amounts of touches. He's catching passes. He's getting the ball handed off to him. They have found a pretty good player in Chase Brown. I know at one point I was high on Zach Moss, but man, Chase Brown, man. Here he is.
Zach Moss is nothing but a slightly better Mike Davis. But yeah, so I just looked up what the Chargers play the Broncos this week, the Pats next week, and the Raiders the week after that. So I don't know, Cincy. I don't know if the Pats are gonna do you any favors because they suck.
Maybe Aiden McConnell comes back late there, and it comes down to that last week.
Just feeds Brock Bowers the whole game. That'd be sick.
Maybe.
All right. I'm taking the Bengals to win. The Bengals to cover here. Chase to be a sicko of the game. A Chase to score a touchdown. You can alternate whichever one you flip flop. Pick one. Don't give a shit. They're both awesome. Go for it, Bahookie. Then you can lead us into Rams Jets.
Yeah, no worries. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going Bengals to win. I did go with Cleveland to cover here just because I don't trust this Bengals defense to completely stop even this Cleveland offense or this Cincinnati defense to stop this Cleveland offense. So I meant to say. But I still think that they win this game. Maybe that gets covered in garbage time. But I'm going with Jamar Chase is my stud of the game, and David Njoku is my anytime touchdown scorer.
DTR is slated to start. Does that change?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm gonna stick with it because I need David Njoku and Jerry Jeudy in fantasy. So
I would not rely on them. I would not do that, but you do you. All right, Rams Jets.
Yes, I'm going to take the Rams here. I'm going to take the Rams to cover here. I'm going to go with Kyron Williams is my stud of the game, and Puka Nacua is my anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah, Puka Nacua is just my favorite player in football, I think. Other than Josh, Josh Allen can't be my favorite player in football. I don't think that's against the rules. So it is Puka Nacua.
I'll allow it.
No, I don't think I will.
I'm gonna want you to allow it.
No, nobody wants me to allow that. I don't want me to allow that. Anyway, I'm going to take the Rams here. Rams to win. I will say this: Aaron Rodgers did have a little spunk in him this weekend because he just looked a little bit like the old Aaron Rodgers. Like he wasn't perfect, but yeah, I don't know. He might have been toking that tree. Who knows? Maybe on that ayahuasca leaf. Alaskan hours.
He locked himself in a closet in the Jets facility again and turned it on his loud music in the dark and locked in, man.
He was just living in the cloud during the game. But no, Devontae Adams actually helped me solidify my moving on in the Florida League. So that's cool. Cooper Kupp, I think, is going to have a pretty big bounce back game here. We all know Sean McVay is an excellent play caller. We all know Sean McVay has a small target tree on his offenses. And we all know Cooper Kupp's good at football. What do we get when we add those three things together? We got probably 12 for 202, something like that. I don't know. Like maybe that's outrageous, but like I feel like he's gonna have a pretty strong bounce back game. Then Devontae Adams is gonna continue doing his thing and score another touchdown because like he looks good too. Like he was burning people on that Jets secondary. Like Adams has never been a burner. Like even when in his prime, he's not like the guy who's like outrunning people down the field. Really, like that was a surprise to see him chugging down the field like that. So if he's got that left in him at almost 32, like that's good. Like he's taking really good care of himself. Nolan, you go, and then you can lead us into Detroit, Chicago.
Yes, sir. Rams to win, Rams to cover here. Matt Stafford for my stud. I think this Jets secondary is very, very questionable, and Matt Stafford has the ability to tear them up. I'm going with Cooper Kupp for my anytime because I'm in the same boat as you, Tyler. I think him not doing absolutely anything, granted, weather was trash, but no excuses because Puka still had 100-plus receiving yards in that same game. So, game plan maybe just didn't work out. They won't do that twice. Cooper Kupp, I think, is going to be in the end zone this week. All right. Detroit at Chicago. Detroit to win. I actually am going to take Chicago to cover here, though. Chicago was close last time these two teams played. It's weird. I don't know why. I don't know how to explain. I know that sounds crazy with how they're playing, but Detroit, with their injuries that they have stacking up, Monty's out now. Like, there's a way for Chicago to hang around. They have the personnel. They just got to prove it. So I'll take them to cover. And then Jared Goff for stud, guys dealing. He's an under the radar, like MVP level guy for me, mostly because of where the Lions are sitting, but he doesn't run his legs.
It's that 5-pick game, man.
Yeah,
that thing is such a tarnish on that. Like he had such a good campaign too, and then he just did that, threw up on himself, and you're just like,
I was gonna say one of the funniest sound bites from the Bills-Lions game was when Goff scrambled for the first down. It was like a 12-yard run, and the run, and they're like, and that's Goff's longest run of the season.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, wow, that's just a scramble for Josh. He does that.
Yeah, just a little like movement. Oh, hi.
And then Amon-Ra for any time. They're gonna have to. Amon-Ra's stock is going to raise just a little bit more. I mean, it's not like he's the only receiver out there. But with Monty going out to take some relief off of Jahmyr Gibbs' workload that's about to head his way, might as well go to your number one receiver in Amon-Ra.
The sun god is going to continue prospering.
The sun god. Maybe
the sun god.
We'll see if his brother Equinemius can do anything.
That dude's not as good.
I don't think he's even on their team anymore.
No, he's on his podcast.
Yeah,
but yeah, give me Detroit to win, Detroit to cover here. Chicago's a dead ass team, flat ass team with nothing going for him. DJ Moore, like he got his like glove ripped off last night, and he took his other glove and threw it on the ground, walked away. Was like, shit, I need those. Turn around, walk back, and went and got him. That almost got the pissy pants player of the week. If somebody didn't straight up quit on their team, that would have been there. So, I love DJ Moore. I've been like a really big fan of his. I think he's a really good wide receiver. And I've never seen this from him, like this attitude thing. Like, dude, he was on the Panthers with like the shittiest like system around him ever, and was getting 1,000-yard seasons with no quarterback play. And like now he wants to be a diva. It's confusing, man. I can't trust anything the Chicago team does, especially because all they want to do is run inside zone from shotgun 40 times a game. How many times did they run right up the gut, like right into the A gap? Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, give me St. Brown for stud. He is just getting unlocked. Like you said, Monty's a massive piece of this offense. So they're going to have to rely on kind of their other massive piece of this offense, and that's him. And he can handle this workload. He's one of the toughest sons of bitches in this league. And yeah, he's going to absolutely go in on Chicago. Jameer Gibbs for touchdown. I mean, that's just cheese at this point. Bahookie, is it you?
Yes, sir.
All right, word.
One. Yeah, this was a pretty easy one for me. Detroit across the board. I kind of see how you could think that maybe Chicago coming off a bad loss, like the pressure's on them, maybe they elevate. Detroit's coming off a loss and they're like kind of banged up. Detroit's got Dan Campbell as their head coach, and they've got Jared Goff as their quarterback. And the Bears have some other guys that aren't those guys.
Some other people.
I mean, that's what it is. And Jared Goff is my stud of the game here. And Jameer Gibbs, as you said, is going to be like he's about as easy of a touchdown call as Saquon is right now. He's now going to be an every down back. Moving along, Arizona at Carolina. I'm going to go with Arizona here. I went against them last week. Tried to get cute and pick the Pats, and not going to get cute this week. And I'm going to take them over Carolina. I'm going to go with Trey McBride as my stud of the game, and James Conner as my anytime touchdown scorer.
Yeah, the Cardinals were a flat ass team a week ago, and now they're right back in the playoff race because they got their freaking tune-up game against us, and everything worked except for the fade to Marvin Harrison Jr. against our best player. Like, anytime they were throwing not against Christian Gonzalez, it was either wide open, easy, or just there. Like, it was there. So I am going to take the Cardinals to win this game. I'm going to take the Panthers to cover the 4.5, though. I do think this is like a late field goal game because I can't trust either one of these teams. No matter how much better the Cardinals are supposed to be than the Panthers, I just can't trust it. I can't trust it. I do think Trey McBride is going to have a great game. He's been absolutely going off. He has actually the most receptions in NFL history without a touchdown. So I think he has 90 receptions this year without a receiving touchdown. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he has a
rushing touchdown. He had one rushing touchdown, correct.
And
yes,
he recovered a fumble in the end zone, that doesn't count as a receiving touchdown.
Yep. There was Kyler Murray fumbled into the end zone. Trey McBride rolled onto it and scored. And that is his only touchdown the season for somebody who literally is pretty much that whole offense. Like, M.A. Shea has been good, but like Trey McBride's been the number one option, I feel like. So yeah, that's I actually have M.A. Shea scoring a touchdown because I just don't think that any of the cornerbacks on the Panthers can do what Christian Gonzalez did to him. If you guys are interested, if you guys like watching excellent cornerback tape, go watch Gonzalez play. That's the most enjoyable thing to watch on the Patriots defense.
I'll be watching this week, boyo.
It was honestly, that was probably his best performance as a pro. He got beat early on a pick route, but other than that, he was absolutely locked down. And it's fine, Bahookie. You guys are gonna score fucking 70 points on us. It's cool. He could play the best cornerback game anybody's ever played in their life.
It depends how long Josh Allen stays in the game for.
No, I think that they want to do that. He might stay the whole game. They remembered Pepperidge Farms remembers what the Patriots used to do to you guys. And Pepperidge Farms.
I will get to this when we get to our game. Let's try and stick to the script. I do have things to say.
All right, go for it. Go for it. Yeah.
Arizona to win. I am taking Carolina to cover as well. I'm in the same boat. I think Arizona messes around and lets Carolina stick around in this game. Kyler Murray for stud. They need him to continue to try to elevate here. But I am going to take Chuba Hubbard for any time. That they have some kind of consistency in their running back room, and that's Chuba Hubbard. If they can get into the red zone and use him, then I think he is safe for a touchdown. Dallas just did a good job of not allowing them to overuse Chuba Hubbard, and they put it in Bryce Young's hands. So Chuba for any time. Lead you into New York and Atlanta. Okay. Falcons to win. Giants to cover. I think that 10 is pretty steep, even if Tommy DeVito is the quarterback. I could see them covering that 10 late. Falcons could win this comfortably and make it feel like a large touchdown lead. I think Kirk's going to want to have a good game. Why not do it against a trashy Giants team? Go out, ball out for 300 and a few touchdowns, something easy, and then I'll go Bijan for anytime.
Word. I'll take the Falcons to win this game. I'm not taking the Falcons to cover 10 points against anybody. They might not even score 10 points in this game if Kirk Cousins plays the whole game. My stud of this game is actually Michael Penix, because I think homie's getting benched. I think Kirk Cousins is getting benched at the end of this game, because Atlanta's still in the mix to like somehow win that division. Like they're 7-7, I'm pretty sure, and Tampa's 8-6. Are they not? It's like a 1-game thing there. As we head down the stretch.
And the Falcons swept them. Yeah, the Bucks have 1-game cushion, but Falcons I think have the Commanders next week or the week after.
True. So it's tight. I mean, I think Penix might give them the best chance to win. I really do. And then I have Malik Neighbors scoring a touchdown, because if it's not Tommy DeVito, then Malik Neighbors is getting the ball just chucked down the field. Like they're like, screw it, he's down there somewhere. When it's Tommy DeVito, he doesn't want to throw that pass for whatever reason. He's like, oh, I can't throw a pick, so like I gotta get sacked or throw the ball away or run for -7 yards and do some of that action. So yeah, give me Malik Neighbors. Hopefully anybody but Tommy DeVito starting, and they'll push the ball down the field to him because they suck and don't have any other option. And he's good enough to catch at least one of those balls. Go for it, Bahookie. Then lead us into Tennessee, Indianapolis. Yucky game.
Yeah, I could see the Falcons like covering this like 10-0.
That would be such a disappointing thing for fantasy managers. That'd be so brutal in the playoffs. Just both of these teams throwing a mean dud. You're just like, no.
I do hear what you guys are saying about, I hear what you guys are saying about not trusting the Falcons to cover 10. I just think this Giants team is so bad, dude. Like, they're so bad. And yeah, I am going to give the Falcons 10 points here at home in a win now situation. Like these are all playoff type games for them. At least if they want to be a playoff team, they should be treating them like playoff games.
Fair.
The Giants are thinking about getting the number 1 or number 3 pick and Shedeur Sanders, and yuck. I'm going to go with Bijan as my stud of the game, and Drake London is my anytime touchdown scorer. Decently safe picks. I'm going to move along into Tennessee at Indy. I am going to go with Indy to win and cover here. I'm going to go with Anthony Richardson as my stud of the game. I say semi-hesitantly, but that's who I'm going to choose. And I'm going to say that Jonathan Taylor crosses the goal line without dropping the ball this time.
Yeah, that was bullshit. Anyway, I have the Colts to win this game. I have the Titans to cover. Will Levis is being benched, so that might mean less defensive touchdowns scored by the Colts. I have Tajay Spears actually being the sicko of this game. I have the Colts winning, but like I don't know. Nobody on their team like inspires me. Like there's no like player on that team that like on offense or defense where I'm like, oh yeah, sicko. Like right now, at least nobody's playing at that level. So I think Tajay Spears just had a pretty big game. I don't think Tony Pollard's 100%, and Tennessee's probably going to be down, so that leads to the passing script a little bit more. Use them in the pass game. I have Anthony Richardson scoring a touchdown here because they're using him in the red zone a lot more, rushing wise. Go for it, Nolan. You could lead us into Minnesota, Seattle, and we're getting close.
Colts everything here. I think they just, I don't know, they want to control home field, I guess, is what they're playing for.
They
I'll
want to
double
feel
up.
themselves.
Yeah.
Come
So I guess so I'll double up on Jonathan Taylor as well. I think he's going to be pissed off that he dropped a 41-yard touchdown. So I'll double up on him. I think they're going to hand the rock off to JT here. So I'll double up. Minnesota, Seattle. This could be a fun one. If Geno Smith is not as banged up as they say. But I'll go Minnesota everything. Minnesota win and cover. I like what they're doing, man. They're playing good ball right now. Their defense is manhandling everybody that they see. Sam Darnold's continuing to just dice up defenses. And that being said, I'll go Justin Jefferson for my stud. I think this Seattle secondary is a little dicey, so they could feed him. And then I'll go Aaron Jones for any time touchdown. They're using him frequently in the red zone. I love the combo they have right now with him and Cam Akers. They got Cam Akers his first touchdown since like week 5 when he was still in Houston. So
saved Bahookie's soul in our fantasy league.
Yeah. So I mean, if
Before
they're
Myers
gonna
scored.
use that, if they're gonna use that, then I'm confident in Aaron Jones to at least be one of those guys in the red zone.
Word. I liked Seattle a lot last week. Very much not liking Seattle as much this week. And then this Vikings team, man, talk about a perfect combination of general manager, head coach, defensive coordinator. Is you have a head coach who focuses on the offense, he's an offensive guy, and you have a defensive coordinator who just perfectly can handle his side of the ball and understands his players and like what they do really well, and has this defense flying around the field, like you said. And the amount of weapons that this GM has put around these coaches, this is how an organization is supposed to function. This is how an organization is supposed to operate. And yeah, give me Minnesota to cover. TJ Hawkinson's starting to come alive. I think he has a big game here against Seattle. And then I will take Kenneth Walker to score a touchdown if he's playing, because I think he kind of unlocks that run game a little bit more for Seattle. So yeah, Bahookie, go for it, and then lead us into our game.
Yeah, I'm also got Minnesota to win, Minnesota to cover. Yeah, Seattle's been a tough team to get a read on, and like they're one of those teams like when I feel like I get a read on them, then I don't. And
this is when Seattle wins because we all pick in Minnesota.
Yeah, quite. That's and now that like we're talking about it, because like I don't
feel good now.
I felt the opposite way a couple of weeks ago, and then they were starting to make me feel good about them, and I'm like, and the Packers are coming to town, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I like Seattle in this spot. Nope, Blake, you know jack shit. Actually.
Yeah, buddy, shut up.
That's why we love football, to remind us how little we really know about anything. Anyways, so I'm going with Sam Darnold as my stud of the game, and Aaron Jones is my anytime touchdown scorer. These with all that I said about Seattle being good and not good, and I don't know what they are. Minnesota, I do know what they are. Yeah. If nothing else, and they've been so consistent. They're off 7 in a row right now.
I think so.
I think I saw that's a stat today. They're off seven in a row, and that's noteworthy. Moving along into the game of the week for 2 people that I know at least, and not many others.
I'm putting on my clown makeup. Give me a few minutes, all right? I'm trying
So
to make my
the Pepperidge Farm game. Speaking of Pepperidge Farm, I want to take us back. It
I'm
was
just
a
gonna turn my camera off and
it
mute
was
my
a
mic
cold,
for
it
you.
was a it was a cold November night in 2007 when Tom Brady and the Buffalo Bills played, and Tom Brady beat the Bills 56-10. 56-10. That was a real score line. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thoroughly, my
Well, I'm
friend.
going to enjoy this thoroughly too.
I hope you do.
so
It's
this-
gonna feel
so-
good.
So we're doing what are the alt lines that are available here?
I am willing to take an alt line to almost like 30 points here. Seriously.
No, this is hey, they'll throw $5 on it. What's the worst thing that could happen?
I hit it.
If you're in the business of making $5 bets.
Yeah, I think I am. I think I am, my friend. I think I am.
All right. Nolan's
yeah,
falling asleep over here. All right, my stud of the game is Josh Allen, and my anytime touchdown scorer is our most consistent weapon, one of the most consistent weapons in the NFL, leader in yards after catch in the NFL. That's been a stat. I'm pretty sure it's still a stat. Someone can fact check me if I'm wrong. Khalil Shakir, number 10.
I love that.
Before Nolan crashes out over here.
Yeah, so Buffalo to win, Buffalo to cover. I got all the way up to minus 40.5 for plus 1,800.
Scared
So
money, don't take no money.
I'm thinking about it. And then I have Josh Allen for stud, Dalton Kincaid for touchdown scorer because we can't cover the Bills tight ends. I like to say I called Khalil Shakir being the best weapon on this football team before the season started. I was laughed at. I was right. Nolan, go for it. There you go. Yep, you're up.
That was good.
That's a good one. I love bits.
Okay. Buffalo everything. Josh Allen for stud. James Cook. This game, I don't know if it's gonna be close, man.
We would not have spent as much time on this game if I wasn't a Pats fan, he wasn't the Bills fan. Let's just put it that way.
Absolutely not. But that's why we're here. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's
and
why
you
we're
know
here.
what, Brad? You goddamn right. And unfortunately, it's not the 49ers part.
Jared World. All right, go for San Francisco, Miami.
Speaking of San Fran everything here. I think this is a game that they want to take control of, even in Miami. They're still trying to find their footing. It's been a rough year for them. This is a game you can find your footing in. I'll take Brock Purdy for stud. I think this Miami secondary can get diced up here. And then I'll take Isaac Guerrero for anytime touchdown. They got to use somebody on the run game in the red zone, so why not be the only running back it seems like you have left? So,
yeah, I'm taking San Fran to win, San Fran to cover here. I was going back doing our records from last week, and I saw that I took Miami against the Texans. I don't know why I'm so fucking stupid sometimes, but like you guys, you did. You actually, I was gonna say, you guys try and like pull me out of that. You did.
You literally know. I was like, this is the game where like Miami is like Miami's the hardest.
Yeah, and it sure shit was, my friend.
Wow,
sure
what a
shit
game
was.
Jeez, for all the flack the Dolphins fans have given Bills and fans and Josh Allen fans over the years for the way he takes care of the football, doesn't take care of the football. Tua doesn't take care of himself or the football.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Is it a little harsh? Yes. Is it a little bit true? Yes.
It's very true. I have George Kittle dominating this game. He's been the most consistent 49er this season. I think he continues that trend. And talking about the other most consistent player in this game, this sentence is very weird to say, but Devon Achane was my touchdown scorer. He has been probably the most consistent Miami Dolphins player this season. And coming into the season, that's just like foreign language to me. But Bahookie, go for it. Lead us into Jacksonville, Vegas, and then we got 2 more games left, the 2 night games.
You got it. Yeah, going through this one I did actually take a second on. This is a game Miami could win. They're at home here. Like, this is not like San Fran and like they're like peak San Fran. They're both very similar types of teams. They both run like similar systems. But yeah, when you see like this is they're 1-point favorites at home. That's not a true home favorite. You usually get 3 points is kind of the baseline. And then so beyond that, if it's less than 3, you're not really a true favorite. This would show me something from the Dolphins. This is kind of what I said about them going into their game last week, was that like if for the Dolphins to go into Houston and beat like a team like that at this time of the year, that would be showing me something that I haven't seen from them. And that it would be this, and that'd be the same thing this week. So that's why I have to take San Francisco, because the Miami Dolphins are the most predictable team in the NFL.
Yeah.
And my start of the game is Brock Purdy, and my anytime touchdown scorer, I don't know what Teron Armstead's status is. I know he has been out, but I'm going with Nick Bosa here, whether he's on the field or not. Especially after the way Tua has been turning the ball over.
Okay.
I don't think it's a terrible call.
I like it.
Moving along into Jacksonville, Las Vegas, another 1-point home favorite. I'm going with the Jags here. This would be a relegation battle in the Premier League, but it's not. We're not in the Premier League. This is just a trap. This is
we're fading. We're fading.
This is one I'm not going to watch. This is Jacksonville. Then I'm going to win, and I'm going with BTJ as my stud of the game, and Tank Bigsby as my anytime touchdown scorer.
Nolan, go for it.
Jags everything, because why the hell not? Why not? So
keep going.
Mac Jones, what the fuck, man? What's going on?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why not right now. Mac Jones. That's why not, man. He ain't gonna play 2 good games in a row. I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. It just doesn't happen. I'm taking the Raiders to win, Raiders to cover.
Yeah.
I'll take Brock Bowers.
Man.
Yeah, it might be. It also might be that just like I don't know, he's a giant pussy. But BTJ is going to score a touchdown as well. I just don't think he's going to have I don't think Mac's going to have a consistent game. Tampa Bay at Dallas Sunday Night Football. Yeah, Tampa Bay. Mike Evans going to throw up 250 on this secondary. Rico Dowell, I will give the score to. He's actually racked up 300-yard games in those last 3 games. Last undrafted free agent running back to do that was Arian Foster, I believe. So he is on a nice list. And I do think he does get into the end zone here. Nolan, go for it. That's the grossest thing you've ever said.
Dallas to win. I will take Tampa to cover. I could see this being a field goal
Tampa's
game.
Tampa's -4. Tampa's -4. So if you're going to take Dallas to win, Dallas has to cover.
Yeah, you know what? I'm stupid. Don't listen to me. Dallas to cover.
I didn't like your game pick either, so it's fine.
Fair enough. So man, that just threw me off because I'm
sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your flow.
You know, I showed you my Scentsy candle and felt good about it, and now I just want to vomit.
What's the scent of the candle?
Shit.
Depression. So Dallas to win and cover here. I could see this being a field goal game, maybe if they don't cover. I'll go CD for stud. Keep it up, keep it rolling. And then Rashad White, I think they're going to get him in the end zone. I mean, Dallas is horrible against the run. Why not?
Bless up to Rashad White for helping me win that $1,800. Go for it, Boogie. Then lead us into our last game, which is just should be a suck fest.
Pretty quick here. I'm going with Tampa Bay to win and to cover. Baker Mayfield wakes up feeling dangerous, stud of the game. And Jalen McMillan, one of my dynasty guys who's finally starting to come alive here, is my anytime touchdown scorer. And moving along to our last game here, Monday Night Football, Saints at Packers. I am going with the Packers. And yes, 13.5 is a big spread, but they didn't have an issue covering that at Seattle. So I feel pretty confident that they can cover that at home against New Orleans.
Logic.
So I'm going to go with Romeo Dubs here as my stud of the game coming back. He was out a little bit banged up, but I think he's really one of the best weapons on this offense, and I think that he's going to have a day against this mid Saints team. And Josh Jacobs, I think, is a pretty safe anytime touchdown scorer bet.
We're go Nolan. I'll wrap it up.
Packers to win. I'm going to take Saints to cover.
Ew.
Yeah. I'll take them to
They
cover
covered last week.
simply because I think the Packers get up by that 13.5, and then garbage time scores and touchdowns maybe just cut away at that. Jordan Love for stud. This is the perfect game where if you were run heavy last week, Jordan Love, unleash him. See what he can do, and use the arm. Josh Jacobs for my anytime. I love what he's doing in that offense. That's why they brought him in the offseason, was to score touchdowns and be this high-level running back. I'll take him in the red zone any day of the week.
Word. I got Packers to win, Packers to cover here. I think they're just going to lean on Josh Jacobs like they did in the Seattle game. That's how they covered that spread. They didn't really need Jordan Love, and there wasn't many garbage. There wasn't much garbage time because they controlled tempo. Josh Jacobs controlled the line of scrimmage and the clock, and that's what I think is going to happen here. They're going to win 24-3, and that's going to be the game. I think Jaden Reed does end up in the end zone. I think that they have done a pretty good job getting him the football again after that dud week. So I do think he finds the end zone again here. Thank you guys, everybody, for watching the show. Go check out stadiumrant.com for all the awesome articles that we're putting out. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go check out our socials. Got a bunch of shit going on. It's okay because 2025 is going to be the year of the Stadium Rant. So make sure you check us out. I guess. So be back here next week, Tuesday at 7 o'clock. Be there. Be square.